Many thanks for joining us at this time. This is the News on Galaxy Television broadcasting to esteemed viewers here in Nigeria, West Africa, and around the world. My name is Tife Tanimomo. Our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria lost $50 billion worth of investment in 10 years by the uncertainty of non-passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill. Plus on the news, the Federal Executive Council approves 21.1 billion naira for various projects in the ministries of aviation, education, and other government parastatals. And when we travel outside Nigeria amidst chaotic conditions in Kabul, European governments brings home their citizens as well as Afghan colleagues. Those are top stories. We'll bring you details in just a moment. Once again, a very warm welcome to you. We'll begin with President Muhammadu Buhari commencing implementation of the newly signed Petroleum Industry Bill (PIA) by approving a steering committee to oversee the process. Special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, in a statement said the committee is headed by the Honorable Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Temitope Silva. Other members of the committee are Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Group Managing Director, NNPC, Executive Chairman, FIRS, Representative of the Ministry of Justice, Representative of the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Resources, Barrister Olufemi Lijedu, as External Legal Advisor, while the Executive Secretary, Petroleum Technology Development Fund, will serve as head of the Coordinating Secretariat and the Implementation Working Group. The committee has 12 months duration for the assignment and periodic updates. The presidency, President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria lost an estimated $50 billion worth of investments in 10 years, created by the uncertainty of non-passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill (PIB), lack of progress and of past Petroleum Industry Bill investment, and investors across the oil and gas value chain. The president said the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Temitope Silva, will head the implementation team, urging all ministries, departments and agencies, MDA, to adjust to the transition designed to reposition the economy.
The Petroleum Industry Act 2021 marked the beginning of the journey towards a competitive and resilient petroleum industry, economic recovery and growth plan. The Petroleum Industry Act 2021 creates a regulatory environment that will ensure efficiency, reposition NNPC to a commercially driven national petroleum company that is accountable to the Federation of host community, which in the implementation will bring real and lasting benefits to them.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan described
the members of the National Assembly had taken the passage of this bill to be one legacy that this 9th National Assembly should leave by the time we complete our tenure. In both the Senate and the House, from all parts of Nigeria, work for the bill to be passed. The debates were, of course, very lively and sometimes even very difficult ones, but that was to show the emotive attachment that everybody had for the bill to be passed. And we have passed the bill by the grace of God. I want to congratulate everybody in the National Assembly, from the leadership and particularly the membership of the National Assembly, who had really cooperated to ensure that we pass this bill, which is now an act.
Now, the Federal Executive Council has approved 21.1 billion naira for various projects in the ministries of aviation, education, and other government parastatals. Briefing State House correspondents, the Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, said the council approved 697,742,839 naira. According to him, the projects to be executed in the contracts include construction of Wakakal Airport in Yobe State at 6.3 billion, post-construction services for the same airport at the cost of 219.8 million naira, procurement of 8 airport rescue and 5 anti-vehicles at the cost of 9.5 billion naira, and the contract for the deployment of sniper dogs to the Lagos and Abuja International Airports at the cost of 658.8 million naira. Minister of State for Education Emeka Onwajuba on the spot said the council approved the contract in favor of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Efurun, Delta State, for the construction of facilities including hostels at the cost of 2.17 billion naira.
So today at council, 4 memoranda was taken from civil aviation. One of it is approval for the construction of Wachakal Airport. Wachakal Airport is in Yobe State. And the contract is for the sum of 6,284,065,056 naira even. And in our drive to develop the sector and ensure connectivity within our region,
University Efurun Warri, Delta State, for 2.7 billion to provide hostels, administrative blocks, and an e-library platform. That approval went through, and the contracts will proceed with the award.
For the Federal Road Safety Commission and other parastatals, the Special Advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, said Council approved contracts worth 1.7 billion naira for 4 federal agencies, including Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NETI, and National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA.
The Federal Road Safety Commission got an approval to procure operational vehicles, and that is to reduce carnage on our roads. The same as for health, the Health Ministry, NAFDAC particularly, also got approval to procure some vehicles for its use. Again, NETI, which is Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, was given approval to acquire a permanent building for 536 million to be used as its head office.
Now, in the southwest, Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, SAN, has sworn in Honorable Justice Williams Akintoroye as the acting Chief Judge of the state, with a charge to live up to the dictates of his calling. Governor Akeredolu made this known at the Koko Conference Hall, Governor's Office, Akure, noting that the judiciary should represent hope for all and sundry. Justice Akintoroye's appointment followed the retirement of the former Chief Judge Justice Oluwatoyin Akeredolu after attaining statutory retirement age of 65 years. In his remarks, the new acting CJ promised to work collectively with the 2 other arms of government for the upliftment of the state.
Because the judiciary, as you all know, should stand as the bulwark of support for the downtrodden. It should represent hope for all and sundry, both the rich and the poor, the high and the low.
The other 2 arms of government, the executive and the legislative arms, the judiciary, under my watch, will form a synergy with you. Ondo State must progress. The sun must keep shining brighter and brighter on a daily basis. We can only achieve this when there is camaraderie.
In part 2 of the news after the break, as Nigeria flags off the second phase of its national COVID-19 vaccine rollout, more Nigerians are admonished to get vaccinated. We'll bring you details of that story soon. It is good to have you back on Galaxy Television News. Now, for more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow or interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at official Galaxy TV. You can also avail our Eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share a story by sending short clips of videos of the news on 0818-6666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. Now to health matters. Nigeria flagged off on Monday, 16th August, the second phase of its national COVID-19 vaccine rollout amidst call for more Nigerians to agree to get vaccinated. Despite assurances by government and other developing partners, it seems it will take more than that to have the vaccines get wider acceptance, as Galaxy's Godfrey Shimogre found out while sampling opinions of some Abuja residents. On this report.
There has been so much suspicion around the coronavirus, now known as COVID-19. And conspiracy theorists have feasted on this, as such, frustrating genuine interventions to find a solution to the global pandemic. In Nigeria, which is even stronger, with a hugely religious and superstitious population. The authorities are now so concerned with having the people accept the vaccines. From the NAFDAC Director General,
any vaccine that comes to Nigeria, we have to test it. That is why you should go and take your vaccine, because we spend so much time on it.
To the Health Ministry.
The third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic is definitely here with us. And this is a warning to us that indeed it is not over until all eligible Nigerians receive the life-saving vaccines.
The message is same, but here is a hint of what Nigerians think about the COVID-19 vaccines.
Anything that comes, there is a day the end will come. Allah has created us, but before He created us, He has created many sicknesses before us, then before the medicine. So whatever comes, we'll continue praying. Allah will solve the problem for us.
They have not sure of the vaccine. The vaccination of all over the world, this country will say their own is the best, or this one, the one they have done is not the best. So actually we don't know what they are talking about. So we can't come up and we can't start taking COVID-19 vaccine just like that, because we have not seen our top elders or our leaders taking it. You understand? So taking COVID-19 to us is a risk something.
You go take the vaccine. I check first. But the way they talk, first of all, they say they think they problem for banana. I fear. You are the same for television. Say after they take the thing. That's for her like this. So when the fear say they never take. Never got the fear. Not anything.
And then there are others who have accepted the vaccines.
If it's not LD, the government won't prompt us to go for it. So, and they even made the example of the president taking it himself. So I feel it's okay. And I don't regret taking it.
With a population of over 200 million, only 2.5 million have been vaccinated with the first of 2 doses. And vaccine variants like the Johnson & Johnson, Moderna and Pfizer are fast making their way to join the pioneer Oxford AstraZeneca, giving citizens a wide range of options. But will that be the game changer? Is now left to be seen. Godfrey Eshemoge, Galaxy News, Abuja.
And now, away from health matters, we'll move to other stories. The Nigerian Broadcasting Commission organized a meeting with chief executive officers of broadcast stations to discuss issues going on with the broadcast industry, implication of broadcast coverage on the national security, and how the NBC and the broadcast media could work together to remedy identified problems. Galaxy's Ireba Misalako gives us a clearer picture to what played out in that meeting.
The reportage of national security is very essential so the citizens may know what is going on in the country However, it requires to be handled with care. During the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission's meeting with CEOs of broadcast companies, emphasis was laid on the need to verify reports on national security before broadcast, so they may not unnecessarily invoke panic in the citizens.
Media is a very critical player in the aspect of national security, especially in our country today. How do they do that? It's purely telling Nigerians what is happening at the right time, but of course ensuring that they also stay on message, checking your facts and making sure that what you give out to Nigerians is nothing but the truth.
The Director General of NRC said the reason for the meeting is to have an interactive section with broadcast media so they may work together harmoniously. It mentioned that the Commission isn't trying to gag the media, but the media should also report good things happening in the country, as reporting bad things all the time could scare away investors.
The purpose of our meeting here, which is to interface, to meet the owners of radio stations, the chief executives, so that we work on the same page with them. NBC is not here to gag the press. NBC is here to regulate the press. There is a difference between gagging and regulating the industry. But what we want you to do, you should be mindful that what you say should put national interest first. And you should know that whatever is aired in Nigeria is viewed beyond the shores of Nigeria. We are at the same time calling people to come and invest in Nigeria, and you are giving them a very wrong signal, telling them that Nigeria is not well.
Ibrahim Salako, Galaxy TV News, Lagos.
And now to court-related matters. The Attorney General of the Federation AGF and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN has asked the Oyo State High Court to strike out the suit of Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, better known as Sunday Igboho, arguing that it does not have the jurisdiction to hear the case. In his preliminary objection to Igboho's suit, Malami argued that the claims for unlawful killing of Igboho's aides cannot be brought under fundamental human rights enforcement procedure, adding that claims for damages and unlawful invasion of Igboho's residence in Ibadan on July 1 can also not be resolved by the way of affidavit evidence without calling witnesses, among others. Counsel to second and third respondents, Department of State Services, DSS, and the Director of DSS in Oyo State, Nuruddin, did not oppose the application. After listening to both parties, the Justice Akitola allowed Malami's lawyers to move his application. In his ruling, Justice Akitola allowed Malami's application and awarded 50,000 cost against Aliu and his team. Hearing was thereby adjourned till August 30th.
Asking for court to extend the time within which they will respond to our processes. So that is it. And you know, we vehemently opposed their application. But at the end of the day, the court, in the interest of justice, granted the application and awarded 50,000 naira cost against them. That's what transpired in court.
Now, tracking security stories, angry youths in their hundreds marched around major streets around Makola area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, protesting the alleged gruesome murder of a 15-year-old boy by an Amotekun operative. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reports that eyewitness account has it that victim was shot in the head by an officer, a development that led to protest around Makola and later spread to the Agodi's governor's office. The youth carried the remains of the 15-year-old boy inside a keke napep and marched towards the state secretariat, but security men blocked all gates leading into the state's secretariat. Meanwhile, the Southwest Security Network, codenamed Amotekun Corps, Oyo State chapter, has denied any involvement in the murder of the 15-year-old boy. Correspondent Kunle Ojo that the commandant of the corps, Olayinka Olayoju, while speaking with newsmen on the incident, debunked the allegation by the youth that one of his men shot the teenager, adding that none of the patrol team of the corps was in the area around the time of the incident. Also, the commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Michael Adarila, said the security agencies will unveil the identity of the person that shot the teenager.
Categorically, I'm telling you on my honor that Amotekun has nothing to do with the incident in Makola. I want to even tell you one thing. The area where this thing happened, you go and check. There is a policeman guarding particular area. There are policemen guarding the Lotto house around that area. If there's any evidence implicating any of my operatives, I assure you, we will not spare them.
Olayinka and Adela Lewa joined the protesters not to allow themselves to be used in disrupting the peaceful atmosphere in the state, as normalcy has returned to the affected areas, while security men have continued constant patrol of the troubled areas. Now, away from the southwest, despite federal government effort in curbing fraudulent activities in the country, some persons still complain on the increase in the act of defrauding them through online trading systems. Some residents of Port Harcourt who claim to have been defrauded by a Port Harcourt-based forex trading company protested to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) office in Port Harcourt, demanding for the prosecution of the CEO. The victims, who carried placards with different descriptions to the EFCC's office, want the Financial Crime Agency to arrest the owner of the Ponzi scheme in order to return the capital they invested.
I invested 2 million. Because he came, the first time that they came, they say it's a forest trade. That one invest at the end of the month, that we give you 20% of the amount you invested.
I invested 1.6. I'm feeling so bad about my money because I know how I work. So we are here to beg the EFCC people to help us.
Yeah, we feel so bad that some people are dying. It's because we're being deceived. And we think that federal government ought to do something for all this time.
What we want from here is we want justice. We want our money back. So many women have died out of frustration. So many people cannot be able to pay their school fees. Some people invested more than 10 million, some 5 million, some 50.
Inside the EFCC office, we met the zonal head who received our petition and gave us full assurance that they are going to make sure that they see to the end of this matter. On our part as civil society, I want to assure the general public that we are going to make sure we fish out all Ponzi schemes in Rivers State.
The Ondo State government has reassured its residents, irrespective of tribe, of tribal religion, of adequate security of their lives and properties. The state government stated this when a delegation led by Deputy Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa paid a condolence visit to relatives of victims of the Jos attack, where 28 lives were lost. The Deputy Governor urged residents to continue to be law-abiding and leave everything in the hands of the security agencies who assured with on top gear of the matter. Aiyedatiwa noted that his boss, Governor Akeredolu, and his Plateau State counterpart, Simon Lalong, had been speaking and assured that all the perpetrators would be brought to book, with some already arrested.
Well, they should take solace in God, that when things like this happen, it's not as if God is not aware. God knows about all things. So we just have to take it as they come. It's just like one of the Yoruba prayer that, you know, they walk into a crisis situation that has taken their lives.
And now to electoral matters. The Independent National Electoral Commission in Ogun State has revealed it is introducing a new system called IVED, INEC Voter Enrollment Device, to accredit members of the public for voting. The resident Electoral Commission now in Ogun State, Professor Abdul Ganil Raji, made this known at a stakeholders conference themed INEC Continuous Voters Registration CVR and Student Civic Responsibility held in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. He said with IVED, issues around votes not being counted will become a theme of the past, with an appeal to youths and students who play key roles to the electionary process to do away with violent acts that may truncate peaceful elections. On his part, the Special Assistant to Ogun State Governor on Students Matters, Adeyemi Aziz, stressed the need to further solidify the interest of the citizens towards achieving the task of a better Nigeria.
With the new system that we are also introducing, the IVED, now
we have captured a number of unique identifications. The 10 fingers, the iris of the face, and then smiling face, normal face. So we have about 4 or 5 levels of identification that we use to now accredit people for voting.
It is against this backdrop that the Office of the Special Assistant to the Governor on Student Matters has taken it upon itself to launch this exercise with the aim of capturing not less than 50,000 fresh voters from the student constituency in Ogun State.
This is Galaxy Television News. We are due for yet another break, but when we return, the Nigerian Correctional Service distributes aftercare materials to discharged inmates to prepare them for proper reintegration into the society. We'll bring you details of this story and more in just a moment. Please stay with us. Many thanks for watching the news on Galaxy Television. We appreciate it. The Nigerian Correctional Service has distributed aftercare materials to discharged inmates to prepare them for proper reintegration into the society. Comptroller General of the Corrections, Aliru Nababa, while presenting the starter packs to the ex-offenders in Abuja, said the aftercare materials will help the ex-offenders reorder their priorities and appropriately deploy their resources. He said the gesture strengthens the service to prepare inmates for a better life after serving their various sentences. Nababa said the trade tools is distributed to discharge inmates who have acquired skills in 6 vocations ranging from tailoring, barbing, carpentry, welding, hairdressing, and laundry while serving their jail terms in various custodian facilities across the country.
Namely, tailoring, barbing, carpentry, welding, hairdressing, and laundry. I believe the skills acquired by these discharged inmates and the tools they will receive today will usher them into a more qualitative pace of life as gainfully employed persons.
One of the beneficiaries of the pack, Ehime Osahon, said the skill he acquired will give him source of livelihood and enhance his proper integration into the society.
I was reformed. Now I can rehabilitate with my fellow citizens outside there and peaceful integration. For me to integrate well, I need a trade. I need something to start doing so that I can cater for myself and for my immediate family. With these two, they just provide for me, I can start that.
Officers of the Oyo State Police Command attached to Atiba Division have arrested 9 suspected cultists during initiation. The suspects who were arrested with various weapons, according to the police, are members of Eye Confraternity. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reports that the Commissioner of Police in the state, Ngozi Nagedeko, who paraded the suspect at the command headquarters in Elele, said men acted on intelligent information on activities of the suspects.
9 of them were arrested. They've been interrogated and confessed that they are all members of Eye confraternity, occultism, those things. Some of them are going for the initiation, while the others, they are going to hand over to the new executive.
She also stressed the need for proper upbringing of children on the part of parents and guardians, adding that the command will continue to act on intelligent information for safety of lives and property of residents.
Enjoin parents, guardians, talk to your wards, talk to your children, know what it is they are doing. Instead of being in school, their parents thought they are in school, but you can see what they've ended up doing.
Now, Nigeria's National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and Saudi Arabia's General Directorate of Narcotics Control have agreed to strengthen their partnership on the fight against trafficking of illicit drugs. NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, in a statement said the agency proposes a Memorandum of Understanding MOU on cooperation between the two agencies in combating trafficking in narcotic, drugs, psychotropic substances, and its precursors to GDNC for consideration and signing. Meanwhile, the Ondo State government has banned the activities of Association of Tippers and Quarry Owners of Nigeria, Ondo State chapter. The decision of the state government follows a sharp and astronomical increase in the price of sharp sand from 25,000 naira to 60,000 naira per load of a 10-tire truck across the state. Addressing journalists at the governor's office, Akure, the senior special assistant to the governor on special duties and strategy, Dr. Doyin Odeboale, decried the high rate of extortion by the sharp sand sellers in the state. Dr. Odeboale directed sharp sand sellers to revert the old price or be ready to leave the state, as government would no longer condone the sharp practices and would not hesitate to arrest any erring members.
To be specific, we are hereby asking all those who claim to be members of Tippers Union or whatever guys or association, to leave our quarries, to leave our state immediately. We want anybody who wants to buy sharp sands, gravels, laterite, whatever, to feel free to approach those who sell.
Determined to ensure the moribund industries in Benue State comes alive and running, as well as boost its economical potentials, Governor Samuel Otom has expressed his administration readiness to privatize more than 15 of the industries. Governor Otom, briefing newsmen before its State Executive Council meeting at Government House, Makurdi, said this process came following the constitution of a privatization council to commercialize and privatize government enterprises down over the years. The governor maintained that it decided to inform the public following the opposition party APC's accusations of its government selling the state-owned industry, when indeed the state law guarantees its openness to create employment.
All these public enterprises that have been listed here, the only companies that are working is the fertilizer blending plant and the plastic industry, which were concessioned by past administration. This was their plan to give it out, it was not implemented, and we have seen none of these companies I have mentioned here are working.
The Delta State Police Commissioner Mohammed Ali has attributed the relative peace being experienced in the Delta communities of Sapele, Ogwashiku, and the state capital, Asaba, to the arrest of suspected cult leaders responsible for the killings in the communities. The CP made disclosure at the headquarters of the state police command in Asaba, while parading suspects arrested for various offenses ranging from cultism, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other criminal vices. Now, Daily Faso tells us more on this report.
Addressing newsmen of their achievements at the command headquarters, Commissioner of Police Muhammad Ali says the command has been working round the clock in ensuring that perpetrators of criminal acts are apprehended and brought to face the full wrath of the law.
We've been working 24/7 with a view to saying that the state is safe for all in the light of the menace caused by culprits in Saple and Ogwashuku axis. I deployed tactical teams to the affected areas and other parts of the state with specific instructions with a view to restoring peace in the affected areas.
Speaking on the command's resolve to flush out criminals in the state, the Commissioner of Police advised them to relocate as some of the suspects spoke on their involvement.
Command will continue to sustain this tempo and ensure that cultists and other miscreants will not see the state as a safe haven. Like I've always told them, if you are a criminal, relocate, because there's no way we will allow you to operate in Delta State. Delta State will have no ground. We will not allow anybody to come here to commit or perpetrate evil acts and go scot-free.
Involved in this case in 2011. Since then, I never do it. Now hunger make me to cross this motor for that on Friday.
Gone in one of my cars, that is spoiled car that I've not been driving for almost a year now. I parked it in the compound. They saw the gun inside the car. So they now bring it out. When they bring the gun out, I said, they saw 2 guns in my car. I said, gun in my car, in my compound? They said, yes. I said, that is mostly why they brought my daughter along with me.
I ended him in 2011, which I wrote petition to Abuja, because the case was that he was illegally detained. The DPO then was at, this DPO division was at Oka then, and immediately gave bail. I wake away. And I'm not denying knowing because I was the person who called him to come and carry me.
Meanwhile, with the arrest of leaders of different cult groups in the state and the tireless efforts of officers and men of the Delta Police Command in ensuring the crime is brought to the barest minimum level, one would expect a drastic reduction in criminal activities for businesses to thrive.
The impasse between Benue communities and road contractors working on the Akwanga-Lafia-Makurdi road project under construction of the federal government has been laid to rest with the promise to pay compensation to affected communities whose farmlands, houses, among others, were destroyed. This is coming following the intervention of Governor Samuel Otom, officials of the Federal Ministry of Works, the contractors, traditional rulers of the communities, and their representative at Government House, Makurdi, as the compensation will take off next week and the road project is expected to commence immediately to meet the timeline. Governor Otom, who cautioned elders and youth of the communities on the need to respect the rule of law and due process, stated that his administration will not hesitate to deal with any acts of thuggery and kidnapping embarked on by the communities, as the road project will boost economic activities to the state when fully completed. You're still on to Galaxy Television News. It's now time for us to join our international desk for more. Please stay with us.
Welcome to news from the international scene. Chaotic conditions have been reported outside Kabul airport as European governments rush to bring home their citizens as well as Afghan colleagues. French, Dutch, Germany, and Czech planes have all left Kabul in recent hours. Staff at the Dutch embassy were so taken by surprise by the Taliban arrival on Sunday they did not tell Afghan colleagues they were going. Shots were reported outside the airport on Wednesday as crowd waited to get in. Local reports said several people were wounded near the North Gate and the Taliban were preventing people from getting to the airport. While each European government is trying to airlift its own nationals as well as Afghan support staff, the European Union Foreign Policy Chief, Joseph Borrell, has said they cannot abandon Afghan colleagues and they are going to do everything they can to offer them shelter in the European Union. France has revealed it has flown to safety 25 French nationals and 184 Afghans in need of protection. On board the flight to Abu Dhabi were 4 Dutch nationals, an Irish citizens, and 2 Kenyans. While France is using Abu Dhabi as an air bridge, Germany is using Uzbekistan for its operations. A second flight was heading to Tashkent on Wednesday after an initial plane arrived in Frankfurt on Tuesday evening. Still with Afghanistan, the United Kingdom, United States and European Union, along with more than a dozen other countries, have issued a joint statement saying they are deeply worried about Afghan women and girls following the takeover of Afghanistan by the Taliban. The statement calls on those in position of power in the country to protect the rights to education, work and freedom of movement of all. Afghan women and girls, as all Afghan people, deserve to live in safety, security and dignity, it says, adding that they will monitor any future government. The Taliban have said they will rule Afghanistan according to Islam legal system, Sharia law, and that women could be actively involved in society under an Islamic framework. The Taliban say they will rule Afghanistan according to a strict interpretation of Islam's legal system called Sharia law. In the first press briefing after taking control of Kabul, a Taliban spokesman said issues such as the media and women's rights will be respected within the framework of Islamic law, but the group has not yet provided any details of what they will mean in practice. When they were last in power, the Taliban introduced or supported punishments such as public execution of convicted murderers and adulterers. There have been news reports that many girls have been sent back from the university. A lot of them have been asked to get married at age 15 or 12. Taliban spokesman Suhaili Shahan says the group will respect the rights of women and minorities as per Afghan norm and Islamic values. The group declared an amnesty across Afghanistan and said it wanted women to join its government. Moving on to Europe, Lithuania has accused 12 Belarusian officers in riot gear of illegal entering its territory to push a group of migrants over the border. Lithuania's border service said the Belarusians were repeatedly told they had violated the border during the tense incident on Tuesday. Belarus disputed this and accused Lithuanian Guard of violence towards migrants. European Union ministers will meet later to discuss a recent migrant influx from Belarus. More than 4,100 mostly Iraqi migrants have entered European Union member Lithuania illegally from neighboring Belarus so far this year. The rise in illegal crossing started in June after the European Union imposed sanctions on long-term Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko. The sanctions came in response to the president's crackdown on protesters and the arrest of a dissident journalist on board a Ryanair flight that was forced to land in Minsk. Lithuania and its allies have accused Belarus of flying in migrants from the Middle East to send across the border in retaliation for European Union sanctions. Belarus has denied this claim. Lithuanian Border Service released a video of the incident which showed 12 Belarusian territory. Lithuanian Border Service released a video of the incident which showed 12 Belarusian officers armed with shields and riot gear standing in formation as migrants scrambled towards Lithuanian territory in a ditch below. Later in the video, the Belarusians appear to enter the ditch, which the Lithuanian border guard says marked the border. Lithuanian Interior Minister says 35 migrants have been forcibly pushed by the Belarusian. Interior Minister Agnė Bilotaitė said Lithuanian border guards will step up patrol in response to the provocation. Earlier, Belarus Border Service released its own video, which does not show the 12 officers in riot gear, nor the alleged crossing into Lithuanian territory. Mr. Lukashenko has repeatedly warned the Belarusian authorities will no longer stop an influx of illegal migrants from abroad to European Union members. But Mr. Lubajev said Belarus border guards were actively pushing irregular migrants to the Lithuanian side. And finally, on the international scene, the Cuban government has introduced new regulation on the use of social media and the internet, which critics say are aimed at stifling dissent. The decree was published in the wake of the largest anti-government protest to sweep through the communist-run island in decades. People used social media to share footage of the demonstration and galvanize supporters. The decree makes inciting acts that alter public order a crime. They also order internet providers to cut access to those who spread fake news or hurt the image of the state. They were published in the Gaceta official newspaper just over a month after thousands of Cubans took to the streets in a riot show of anger with the communist government. The protest, which started in the small town of San Antonio de los Baños, seems to have no formal organizer but appeared to have been convened through an online community forum. They quickly spread throughout the country after a live broadcast on Facebook of people attending the impromptu march in San Antonio was widely shared. Access to mobile internet in Cuba was only introduced in December 2018, but is giving Cubans the ability to get news from sources other than state-controlled media. However, Cuba's telecommunication network remains under the control of the state, and in the hours and days following the protest, users found they could not access Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, or Telegram. Cuban officials say the new decree was aimed at keeping Cubans safe from cybercrime. Deputy Communication Minister Wilfredo Gonzalez told journalists the new regulations were brought in to protect Cubans' personal data and their privacy. But he added that they would also protect state officials as under the new rule. And that's it from news from the international scene.
Still on Galaxy Television News, up next is entertainment news.
Welcome to entertainment news. Actress Chita Agu Johnson turned a year older today, August 18, 2021. She shared lovely new photos from her birthday photo shoot. Happy birthday to you, Chita. Now giving update on Timini Egbuson and his ex-girlfriend's allegation. Actor Timini Egbuson has reacted after his ex-girlfriend Lydia Balogun called him out. Lydia, who Timini dated when she was 19 and he was 32, claimed he is currently seeing an 18-year-old student. Timini took to Snapchat to respond to Lydia's accusations. He said he's a single adult who has dated women of different ages and that all of them were older than the legal consenting age, which is 18-year-old. He added that he and Lydia dated for about 2 years and they were both consenting adults at the time, and the families knew and approved of each other. He further explained that their relationship was volatile and didn't work due to fault from both sides, so they had to go their separate ways, and he has since then learned from it. Adding that he does not condone having relationships or courting anyone under the age of consent. Recently, Lydia Balogun slammed Timini Egbuson's best friend Dorcas Fapson after she defended Timini. But one of Lydia's friends released a screenshot of messages purportedly sent by Lydia begging her to matchmake her and Timini. Actress Dorcas Fapson, who is friends with Timini, also shared tweets in defense of Timini. Meanwhile, Babcock student Busola Adejoro has responded after Lydia called her out while slamming the actor. Busola also rubbished Lydia's claim that Timini intentionally sought her out to date because of her age and naivety, and she didn't know anyone from a social group when they met. Busola revealed that this isn't true, and she shared screenshots of a message where Lydia reached out to her, calling Timini her crush and begging to be introduced to him. Meanwhile, on another note, actress Uche Jumbo took to her Instagram page early in the morning to share a piece of advice. According to her, people should avoid anyone who only call them up for enjoyment and not to share business ideas. The friend that you are not making money with, is that one a friend? She asked. Now that's a food for thought. Also on a celebratory mood, one of Nigeria's top celebrity couple, the Njokos, recently had fans celebrating with them after they clocked a milestone in their marriage. Popular actress Mary Remy Njoku and Iroko TV boss husband Jason recently clocked 9 years together as a married couple to the joy and fans and well wishes. Mary shared a series of lovely photos of herself with a man and accompanied them with a sweet caption to celebrate their union. According to her, they have been married for 9 years and are still waxing strong. She illustrated this with popular singers' Star Plus song. Finally, on entertainment news, American comedian Colin Judd has confirmed that his wife Scarlett Johansson is expecting their first child. Judd made the announcement while performing at a stand-up gig at the Ridgefield Playhouse in Connecticut over the weekend. Johansson, who's 36, already has a 6-year-old daughter named Rose from a previous marriage to Frenchman Romain Dorak. She quietly wed Saturday Night Live Jot, who is 39, in October 2020 after 3 years of dating. The Avengers star first sparked pregnancy rumors in June after skipping out on several Black Widow events, choosing instead to carry out promotional appearance via Zoom and appearing on virtual interviews only shot from the shoulders up. And that'll be all on entertainment news.
And that's it on the news for now, but for more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at official Galaxy TV. You can also avail our Eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending your short clips or videos of the news on 0818-6666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. And it's a wrap on the news for now. Thanks for staying with us. On behalf of the entire production team here, we say thank you for sticking with us to the end of the news. I am Tife Tani Momo. Let's do this again some other time. See you.
This weekend on